Section E, assay type number 4. The headquarters of Green Card Stores Incorporated is located near a large river that flooded after an extremely heavy rainfall. The disaster recovery leader had recently left the company, and the new person had not yet been named, nor had the plan been tested for some time. Disaster recovery plan needs regular testing, trial run whether it's working robustly. The company has a backup location for all systems, but it is in the same area and was subject to the same flood. There is no point. Backup should be like, for example, if I have my facilities in New Delhi, the backup must be somewhere in Kerala, probably Cochin, right? Two distinct locations which are significantly afar, so that if one place is damaged through flood, fire, hurricane, other is safe. So this was not the right approach. See, the company has a backup location for all systems, but it is in the same area and was subject to same flood. That was a very wrong approach. The backup files were in the basement. Terrible. Who keeps information systems and facilities in a basement so that when there's a flood, everything is destroyed? Terrible. And first floor of the backup location. So they were the same building. The data, the information system, hardware was in the basement. Backup was in the first floor. That was ridiculous. Anyway, some files were salvaged but do not have clear descriptions, and management is not sure if they are the correct files. After 2 days of being unable to process the store sales, management has implemented a backup system. This system allows them to process sales, but it does not have all the current data. All data is lost. Some large sales that were in process were lost. Terrible situation. Now, explain the objectives of disaster recovery plan. What the disaster recovery plan does first. Objective. Objective of the disaster recovery plan is to ensure that the company we are talking about, the firm, will be able to operate despite interruptions like floods, fire, etc. That's the main objective. Objective of a disaster recovery plan is to ensure that the firm, the business, the company will be able to operate despite any interruptions. What sort of interruption? Just like in this case was flood, there could be power failures, system crashes, etc., fires. So that's the main objective. Now we need to explain it as well. What exactly should it involve, the disaster recovery plan? That's the overall objective. We need to explain it as well. So this is the text that you will give. The objective of disaster recovery plan is to ensure that the company will be able to operate despite any interruptions such as power failures, system crashes, etc. And this is what is to be included in the disaster recovery plan. Disaster recovery team, including the primary leader who will manage this recovery process, and in case if he isn't available, who will be the alternate leader. That was a problem. See, what you saw in this essay here in the given scenario, disaster recovery leader had recently left the company and there was no one, and new person had not yet been named. There should have been an existing employee who was an alternative. Alternative was missing. That's a problem, right? There was no alternative. So that was required. Leader and an alternate leader. That was a problem. Designation of specific backup site to use for alternate computer. Would it be a hot site that becomes immediately operational, or is it a cold site, or somewhere in between, a warm site? Test, document, and update. That was essential. Your disaster recovery plan must be tested for its robustness. Will it work? Is there any weakness? That's what military do. They keep on doing exercises. Even there is no war, but they keep on testing their readiness, operational readiness. That's the purpose of testing. Test, documents, and update the plan as required. And you need to review the plan continuously because newer threats keep on emerging. And also include backup for hardware. Where do we know? This was very wrong that in the basement you had your hardware facilities and backup was in the first floor in the same building. That was not the right place to put your backup. This one should be sufficient. Next, explain the importance of backing up all programs and data files regularly and storing them at secure remote site. Mind the word remote site. Must be put far away. Putting them in single place will be not the right approach. Regular backup must be stored at a far off location, because if they are in the close proximity within the same city, a disaster at one place, since they are close, will damage the other sites as well. Right? So the regular backup and proper storage of program and data files will reduce financial risk and business risk, because in the previous case, your data is lost and you are unable to process the data. Some large orders were pending and they couldn't be completed. If such a situation when the data is lost, there is a possibility of fraudulent reporting, fake financial transactions, misstatement. What actually happened, the transactions are not corroborating. Misstatements might arise if the data is lost due to inadequate backup. Loss of data can also cause severe interruptions of business operations and loss of income. Just we have lost big orders, they were in process and you lost all the data. Right? Around these lines you will give your result, your responses. Explain the difference between hot backup site and cold backup site. We know this. Hot backup site, we discussed yesterday, is fully functional, fully operational facility that can come online within few seconds. It just requires few seconds or few minutes. Later data is available, software is available, internet connectivity is available. This is called hot backup. Immediately available, fully functional. Cold backup is just a shell facility without any hardware or software. It's just a bare facility and there is nothing. You need to bring in the hardware, software installation, then connectivity through cables or through microwave signals. Right? So, and in between we have a warm site, which might have some physical hardware but lack of softwares. So that has been described here. Hot site is a fully functional operational site facility that can become immediately available. Latest data is available, software is available. Cold site is just a bare facility where hardware is to be installed. It will take time, days, not minutes, but here it might be just a few seconds. So which should we recommend depends upon the nature of the business. Like banking institutions, they need information in minutes, in seconds. So for banking institutions, insurance companies, brokerage businesses, they need a hot site. The nature of the business requires hot site. But for a trader, for an agri-business, for a wholesaler, it may take a few days, then they can get their system back up and running. So it depends upon the nature of the business and cost-benefit analysis as well, right? Question number 4, recommend 4 changes to improve the disaster recovery and storage control procedures at Greetings. We noticed many first, there was no leader. Backup was placed in the same place where you were currently working. So we need some good, strong improvements or recommendations. So greeting cards can improve the disaster recovery and storage control procedure by ensuring a disaster recovery leader and an alternative. We didn't test, if you go back, you will notice that we did not test our, and a new person had not yet been named, nor had the plan been tested for some time. Regular testing of the plan was essential. So that's an apparent flaw in this situation. Question number 4. So recommend 4 changes to improve the disaster recovery and storage control procedure at Greetings. The first issue was we need to have a leader, test backup plan regularly, which was not done, to ensure that it is working. Keep backups in locations that might not be subject to the same natural disaster. If your main servers are in New Delhi, your backup must be a far away place, Cochin, that I said. Keep several sets of backup in case the most recent one can't be used. That's called the father, grandfather and son arrangement. Let me tell you what. Now, some data are updated daily backed up, some weekly, and some on monthly basis. Daily data that is backed up elsewhere, this is called son. Weekly is located somewhere else, the backup, this is called father. And the oldest data that is updated or backed up every month, this is called grandfather. So basically I have three sets of similar data. This is updated and backed up daily. This is updated or backed up weekly, and this is backed up monthly. Right? So this is the most recent one. This is 1 week old, this is 1 month old. Data is the same, but there is a time lag. So grandfather, father, son relationship. So keep several sets of backups in case the most recent one can't be used. If the son isn't of use, you have father to use, and then if father isn't available, then you have. So this is one of the backup routines: father, son, and grandfather arrangement. Right. Next. So keep several sets of backup in case of the most recent one can't be used. Last, you just need to give 4, but given fifth one as well. Use better file labeling storage control, because there was an issue of labeling. We couldn't read which file relates to what. It was not legible. So external file labels or internal file labels could be used for this purpose. Last, besides disaster recovery, system security is also an important control to business. Identify 3 means by which management can protect programs and databases from unauthorized use. First of all, you need to implement some facility and hardware controls. Facility and hardware control means the buildings where your hardware is located has to be closely guarded. Data center must be protected. Access only to authorized individuals. Biometric verification on entrance. There might be a guarded desk that restrict unauthorized individuals' access to the facilities. Then other are network controls. Network controls mean your facilities are guarded by a firewall. Unauthorized access from outside cannot be made. Only those connection requests from verified data packets through intrusion detection system, they are allowed to get connected to your private network or virtual private network. Right? That's important. Then system needs to communicate with your vendors and your customers outside the organization, customers and vendors, and there might be some confidential information. So we can use encryption. Encryption is a way in which information can be transferred in a scrambled form. If it is intercepted on its way, it's in the form that cannot be deciphered, it cannot be understood, it cannot be read. It's an unreadable fault. So encryption could be used in data transmission between your customers, vendors, bankers, and other related parties, right? So these are the controls that you need to have. And around these lines, you can just give a couple of paragraphs, and that would be sufficient to answer a question like these.